Level 1. The Witness. You're 11 years old, standing ankle-deep in shorebreak foam on a Tuesday afternoon. The water is 64 degrees, and your feet are going numb, but you don't move. 30 yards out, a guy on a beat-up shortboard drops into a shoulder-high wave and disappears behind the lip. For 1 second, he doesn't exist. Then he shoots out the other end, carves a turn that sends spray 6 feet into the air, and kicks off the back like the wave was nothing. The whole thing lasts 4 seconds. You watch him paddle back out and do it again. That night, you're on YouTube watching point-of-view clips from Chopu, and the sound of that water, that heavy, glassy, detonating sound, does something to the center of your chest you don't have a word for. You watch that clip 20 times. Every time the guy shoots out of the barrel, you hold your breath. You start clicking on other surf videos. You watch for 4 hours. You don't know the names of any of the moves, but you know something inside your body is answering. When you finally close the screen, it's 1 a.m. Your bedroom ceiling looks different than it did this morning. You fall asleep, and a 9-minute pipeline compilation loops 3 times before the screen goes dark. You haven't touched a surfboard. You don't know what a lineup is. You don't know the water has rules. But something locked in tonight, and it's not going away. Level 2. The Foamball Addict. 3 weeks later, your dad buys you a used 8-foot foamy off Facebook Marketplace. $40. It's yellow, soft top, with a chunk missing from the nose. You carry it to the beach under one arm like it weighs nothing. Your older cousin surfs. He takes you out that first Saturday morning and spends 45 minutes pushing you into whitewater while you flail and swallow salt. He teaches you one thing: where to put your hands for the pop-up. Everything else, he says, the ocean will teach you. After that day, he never takes you out again. He surfs a different break on the north side. The rest you figure out alone. Your first 12 sessions look identical. Paddle out 20 yards, get pushed back in, repeat. The muscles between your shoulder blades burn after 10 minutes. Your chest develops a rash from the wax rubbing through your rash guard. A 3/2 millimeter wetsuit means 3 millimeters on the torso, 2 on the limbs, and February water still seeps through the back zipper. On session 6, a guy with gray in his beard and a sun-bleached 6 feet 8 inches egg paddles over. "You're paddling too flat," he says. "Arch your back, chin up, hands wider." He doesn't introduce himself. He doesn't ask your name. He watches you try it twice, nods once, and catches the next wave in. Over the next month, he appears on maybe 4 sessions. Each time, it's one sentence. Don't look at your feet. Angle toward the shoulder. Wait 1 more second. Then he stops showing up entirely. You never learn his last name. But those corrections save you 3 months of guessing. By week 8, you catch your first green wave. Unbroken, moving sideways, a clean wall of water. You pop up for maybe 2 seconds before the nose digs and you eat sand. But those 2 seconds, the sound changed from chaos to a single clean hiss, and your body was weightless and moving at the same time. By month 4, you ride whitewater standing up consistently. By month 7, you catch green waves on most attempts. Your pop-up takes 1.8 seconds, too slow for anything steep, but functional. You buy a 7-foot 6-inch funboard off Craigslist for $220. The foamy goes in the garage. You tell yourself you'll give it to your cousin. You never do. The ocean has a schedule nobody teaches you. Low tide exposes rocks and makes inside sections dangerous. High tide pushes the break further out and doubles your paddle. The sweet spot is the 2 hours around incoming mid-tide, and it takes you 5 months to figure this out on your own. You start recognizing other regulars by their boards. Nobody talks to you yet. You haven't earned that. Level 3. The Local. One morning, a guy on the peak nods at you. That's it. No conversation, no invitation, just a nod. It means, I've seen you here enough. You're surfing 4 days a week now. 5:30 a.m. dawn patrols before school. Your car permanently smells like neoprene and coconut wax. You learn the lineup has rules nobody posts anywhere. Don't drop in on someone deeper than you. Don't paddle wide around the pack to steal position. Don't snake, and if you're unsure who has priority, you don't go. You violate the drop-in rule exactly once. A 40-year-old local paddles up and says 6 words. "Don't do that again, kid." You don't. Your board is a 6'2" shortboard now. 28 liters of volume, squash tail, thruster fin setup. You know what those words mean because you've spent 60 hours on Swaylock's forums reading shapers argue about rocker curves and concave depth. Your pop-up is under a second. You can bottom turn and drive up into the pocket. You can pump down the line to generate speed where the wave goes flat. 90% of surfing at this level is reading the ocean. You learn to watch the horizon for set waves, the bigger ones that come in groups of 3 to 5 every 8 to 12 minutes. You learn that a wave breaking left looks different from shore than it does from the water. You learn that wind under 8 knots from the east means glass, and anything onshore above 12 turns the surface to chop. People at school don't understand why you wake up at 4:45. Your grades slip from B+ to B-. Your shoulders are wider than anyone else's in your grade. The calluses on your knees never fully heal. A surf shop downtown puts your name on a whiteboard for the local Grom comp. You didn't sign up. Someone did it for you. Level 4. The Contest Kid. 42 kids in the under 18 division. 4-person heats, 20 minutes each. Priority rotates after every wave, meaning once you catch one, you go to the back of the line and the next rider gets first choice on anything that comes in. Scoring works on a 0 to 10 scale, 2-wave total. Judges want commitment, power, speed, flow, and variety. A single clean barrel ride can score a 9. 3 average turns on a soft wave gets you a 5. You need to learn which waves to take and which to leave because every wave you ride resets your priority. You make semifinals on instinct. You're aggressive. You paddle hard. You don't hesitate. Then the final happens. A 14-year-old kid who weighs maybe 120 pounds paddles out with the calm of someone who's done this 50 times. In the first 5 minutes, he catches a set wave and chains 4 turns: backside snap, foam climb, frontside gouge, clean exit. 8.5. The crowd on the beach makes a sound you feel in your ribs. You catch your best wave of the day. You give it everything. 6.2. The math doesn't work after that. You need a 9.1 to win with 5 minutes left and no sets on the horizon. You know it's over before the horn. The kid doesn't even look at you on the beach. He's already talking to his coach about the next event. You drive home with your board still waxed and your wetsuit still damp on the back seat. Something shifted. You now know this thing has levels you can't see from the bottom. Level 5. The Sponsored Nobody. At 17, a local board company offers you a deal: free boards, a travel budget of $800 a month, and your name on their Instagram once a quarter. In return, you represent them at QS events, the Qualifying Series, the minor league of professional surfing. Thousands of surfers chasing points across 5 continents for a shot at the championship tour. You drop out of community college after 1 semester. Your parents don't argue. They can see it's already decided. The QS circuit is 34 events across 18 countries. Entry fees run $75 to $150 per event. Flights, housing, boards, food. Your $800 doesn't cover a single international trip. You share Airbnbs with 4 other guys, eat rice and eggs, and fly budget airlines with your board bag as oversized luggage at $150 each way. In your first full year, you enter 11 events and make quarterfinals in 2. Your world ranking goes from 4,200 to 680. Not bad. Not enough. Here's what the contract doesn't tell you. The company sponsors 14 riders your age. At the end of the year, they keep 3. The decision has almost nothing to do with results. It's about content, engagement, whether you look good on camera, whether a 16-year-old in Brazil just went viral doing the same turns you do. You're not an athlete to them. You're a marketing asset with a shelf life. 8 months in, 2 riders you trained with get dropped on the same Tuesday. One of them was ranked higher than you. He finds out through a DM. There's no phone call, no meeting, just a message that says they're going in a different direction. You keep the sponsorship into year 2, but something behind your eyes changed. You no longer believe the system is about who surfs best. Level 6, the Qualifier. The QS runs on cumulative points. The top 10 at season's end graduate to the CT, the Championship Tour, the top 34 surfers on planet Earth. Everyone else resets to 0 and starts again. Going into the final event of the season, you're ranked 11th, 1 spot out. The event is in Portugal, Peniche. 6-foot beach break, onshore wind making the faces unpredictable. The worst conditions to gamble your entire year on. You need to finish top 4 in this event to crack the top 10 overall. Round of 32. You win by 2.3 points. Round of 16. You barely advance on a last-second wave with priority. Quarterfinal. The other guy gets 2 sevens in the first 10 minutes and you have to chase. You find a set wave with 2 minutes left, take off late on a steep face, make 3 turns you don't think about, and land an air reverse you've never made in competition before. 8.7. You advance by 0.4 points. Semifinal. 25 minutes, the longest heat of the event. You and another qualifier who's been on the QS for 6 years, twice as long as you. He surfs safe. Priority exchanges. Tactical paddle battles. No one commits. With 4 minutes left, you catch a medium wave and do everything perfectly. Not spectacular, but clean. 7.1. He can't answer. You're in the final. Win or lose, you've qualified. The CT next year has your name on the list. You don't remember the final clearly. You win it. But that's not the moment. The moment is 20 seconds after the horn, sitting on your board in the lineup, alone, with the beach 100 yards away. The water is flat. The crowd is just shapes. Something inside your chest rearranges, and you let it happen because no one's watching. Level 7, the title race. Your second year on the CT, you're ranked 4th going into the final event at Chopo, the heaviest wave on the tour. A left-breaking barrel that detonates over a shallow reef in Tahiti, water as clear as glass. The lip throws out thick as a bus, and the wave face is nearly vertical. At 8 feet, it's beautiful. At 12 feet, it can break your back. The math: if the current world number 1 doesn't reach the semifinal and you win the event, the title is yours. The wave is running 8 to 10 foot, heavy but makeable. You draw him in the quarterfinal, same heat. 25 minutes to surf against the best surfer alive with everything on the line. He gets an 8.1 on his first wave. Deep barrel, clean exit, 2 turns on the shoulder. The kind of ride that takes the crowd out of the equation. Now it's just you and him and the reef. 12 minutes pass without a set. You sit on your board and watch the horizon. Your legs are numb from the current. Your leash tugs every time a surge passes over the reef. Then the horizon goes dark. A set. 3 waves, each one bigger than the last. He has priority on the first. He takes it. You let the second pass. Too wide, it'll close out. The third one stands up on the reef and you turn and commit. The drop is nearly vertical. Your rail catches for a half second and you think this is it. Then the fins grip. You set your line low and the lip throws over you. Inside the barrel, the sound disappears. Everything goes quiet except the water sucking off the reef below your fins. 3 seconds. 4. 5. The exit shrinks to a slot of daylight the size of a doorframe, and you crouch lower and drive through it. You come out clean. The beach is screaming. The score comes back, 9.4. He doesn't reach the semis. You don't either. A younger kid knocks you out in the next round. But it doesn't matter. The math worked. The title is yours. That night, you sit on the seawall outside your hotel with your feet hanging over the reef. The same reef that almost broke you 8 hours ago. The water is black now. Quiet. You can hear it breathing. Level 8. Bones and Salt. 27, and your CT ranking is 19th. Last year it was 9th. The year before, 1st. The kids coming up have a different kind of surfing. Aerial, fast, video game rotations you never trained for. Your power surfing still scores, but not enough, not consistently, not against 19-year-olds who recover from wipeouts in half the time. You pivot to Big Wave, Nazaré, Portugal, a deep-water canyon that funnels Atlantic swells into walls of water 40 to 80 feet tall. Tow-in surfing behind a jet ski at 30 miles per hour into waves that move faster than you can paddle. January, a 50-foot day. Your partner tows you into a wave that looks like a building collapsing in slow motion. You make the drop. You set your line. Then the wave changes. The west section connects to the inside, and the whole thing closes out in front of you. The lip lands on your back like a car. You go under. The turbulence spins you so fast you lose orientation. Up is gone. Down is gone. There's only pressure and salt in your sinuses, and the leash pulling your ankle sideways. You count. 7 seconds. 10. 13. You feel the washing machine slow down and pull toward the surface. Your hand touches air. Then the second wave hits. You get one breath, a half breath, before it pushes you back under. 17 seconds total hold down. Your lungs hit the bottom. Your vision grays at the edges. The ski finds you floating face down and drags you onto the sled by your vest. You cough salt water for 2 hours. That night, your hands won't stop shaking. You go back 3 days later, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Level 9. The Fade. 31. ACL reconstruction, left knee. 18 months between the tear and your first session back. The competitive circuit doesn't wait. Your ranking expires. Your name disappears from heat draws. Sponsors send polite emails. You surf again. Smaller waves, longer boards, slower mornings. The knee decides what days are good days. Your body has a vote now, and it votes often. Level 10. The Shore. You're 36. You still surf. 3, maybe 4 days a month when the swell is clean and the wind is light. You ride a 7-foot mid-length now. Stable, forgiving, nothing like the 5-foot 10-inch sleds you used to snap off the top on. Your knee tells you which days are yours. You don't argue with it anymore. The mornings are quieter than they used to be. You paddle out at sunrise not because you have to, but because the water still does the same thing to your chest it did when you were 11. The difference is, you don't need it to mean anything now. It doesn't need to lead anywhere. You don't miss the competition. You miss the clarity. You miss knowing exactly what you're doing on this planet every single morning. The person you are now and the person who dropped into that chopu barrel share the same body. They don't share much else. And somewhere right now, on a beach you'll never visit, an 11-year-old is standing ankle-deep in shorebreak foam on a weekday afternoon. The water is cold, and their feet are going numb, but they're not moving. 30 yards out, someone just disappeared behind a wave. The kid's chest is doing something they don't have a word for. They haven't touched a surfboard yet. They don't know what a lineup is. They don't know the water has rules. It will ask things of them they don't know they're capable of yet.